Okay, so just the first few seconds here, we're just gonna start a little bounce and a shake. So we just kind of want to move the lymphatic fluid of the body. So we bounce, give everything a good shake, shake your wrists. And then if you're feeling like your joints need just a little bit of movement, move your wrists, bend your elbows, bend your knees, move your feet, move everything around. Just give everything good shaking out. Get that nice, good, happy Monday vibration going. And then once you feel like, oh, you got everything good and shaken out, come on down to the ground onto your back. Your legs are going to go nice and long. Let me move my device. All right. So as you come down to the ground, legs are going to go long. You're going to stack your right foot on top of your left toes. So the toes are going to curl in. You're going to get a little stretch to the bottoms of the toes. Once you've got your heels stacked on top of your toes, let your arms come out at your sides so they're just a little bit of an anchor, and you're going to start to turn your bottom foot. So it's going to rock side to side. You're going to start to feel a little bit of movement in the hips, a little internal external rotation of the left leg. So the leg that's stacked is going to get most of the movement happening, and you get a little stretch to the bottom of the foot if you've got your toes curling in with that heel stacked on top of it. All right, we got 7 seconds left on this side. Okay, now switch. So set your right foot down, stack your left foot on top, get that nice little stretch to the bottoms of the feet. And once you've got the heel and the toe set up, then start to rock that bottom leg, internal, external rotation with that leg. And let that leg just move just as much as it naturally does. But tune into that point up at the top of your thigh where your thigh bone is in that hip socket, and just notice how that feels. Make sure everything's feeling good. And then if anything is feeling funky, then you'll want to just be mindful throughout the rest of your class. Okay, unstack your feet, give your toes a little wiggle, give your ankles a little movement. We're going to roll onto one side. Doesn't matter which side you start with, but we're going to come into a little fetal position. Legs are going to be stacked, hips are going to be stacked, knees are going to be stacked. So we don't want this kind of saggy butt falling back. We want to stack everything up. Let your bottom hand either rest out in front of you or underneath your head. And then 30 seconds here, we're just going to take some twists. So we're going to take that top hand, reach it up and back, and then bring it back around to the front. Let your gaze follow your hand. So you want to let your head and your neck move with this little spinal twist. And to the best of your ability, keep your legs nice and stationary. So we want to keep the hips stable, the knees stacked, and allow most of the movement come from the upper body. Nice. One more time here. All right, and then we're going to flip over onto the other side. So flip around, either just roll over onto your other side. I'm going to flip around so that I can face the camera, and then get yourself situated. Stack your legs, stack your hips, stack your knees, make sure your legs feel stable. And then we're going to take that top hand, reach up and back, and let your gaze follow that hand. So head and neck are moving with the upper body. Beautiful. And time. Nicely done. Okay, flip back onto your backside. Now we're going to get our abs engaged. So we're going to flip onto the backside, pick up those knees, arms down at your sides, and we're going to just start with some alternating toe taps just to start to fire up the abdominal muscles. So we're going to keep that nice 90-degree bend in the knees. We're going to try to move from the hip hinge. So think about, rather than touching your toe to the ground, think about pushing your thigh away from your chest. And then just see if you can find a nice sense of firmness in your center. And then if you like working with the breath, find the effort and then exhale on the efforted move. Let the exhale help you. We got 20 seconds left here. All right, now we're going to keep that tabletop position. Uh-oh. Feel like I lost you there for a second. Sorry, guys. Oh, technology. All right, keep with that tabletop position. So legs in that tabletop position. Reach your arms down at your sides. We're going to curl up and then we're going to start to pump the arms. So we're going to stay curled up, pumping the arms, and then start to find some breath here. So you're going to inhale for the count of 5 and exhale for the count of 5. Keeping the head and neck lifted, curled up from the chest, and think about drawing the abdominal muscles down and really pump those arms. And then find your breath here. Inhale for the count of 5 and exhale for the count of 5. Beautiful. Nice, you guys. That looks amazing. We got 20 seconds left. Keep pumping those arms. Keep that chest and chin lifted. Keep pulling the abdominal muscles down. 5 seconds left. You got this. And time. Woo! Take a second. Lower your chest and your head down. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a light little squeeze. But we are going to come back to that tabletop position with our legs. Arms are going to reach up. So think dead bug here. So we're going to keep our belly nice and stable. And we're going to start to take alternate fire hydrants. So on our back side, we're going to take one leg out and then the other. So we're going to move out of the hip joint. Lower your knee down towards the side. Pull it back up with control. And as you're working side to side, you want to see if you can keep everything else nice and stable. So arms are going to stay stable. The leg that's not dropping out to the side is going to stay stable. And you're just going to move to a depth that feels comfortable and that you can control. So if you're dropping out to the side and then everything starts to come with you, dial it back just a little bit so you find some action in the inner thigh and in the abdominal muscles. Awesome, you guys. We got 15 seconds left. You got this. And time. Nicely done. Okay, our next minute of work is going to be some rock and roll holds. So we're going to roll up, find a little hold and balance, and then rock back. Let the hips lift, come up, hold it there. We got 1 minute on the clock. You're going to do as many as you can, but we want to find a little bit of control here. So think about pressing the backs of your thighs into your hands, come up and hold, and then rock back and let the hips lift. And then if for whatever reason, if this is not a good position for your body, then you're just going to kind of take it into some half rolls, stay in an upright seated position, curl the tailbone under, and you're just going to rock back halfway and then pull yourself back up with control. But if it's all feeling good, we got 25 seconds left. All right, the next time you come up, stay up, set your feet down, scoot your butt back, and we're going to step the feet wide, fairly wide, so feet are coming out to the outer edges of your mat if you're working on a mat. Otherwise, think a little bit wider than shoulder width distance. Hands are going to come behind the head. You're going to press your head into your hands, hands into your head. Lift and rotate to one side and then add a little side bend. Come back up, rotate to center, lift and rotate to the other side, add a side bend. And now what we want to see if we can do is keep our hips nice and heavy on the ground. So we don't want to shift our hips. So think about pressing into your heels, anchor your legs. Get nice and tall on your rotation, and then find your side bend. Beautiful. And then try not to lose that press of your head into your hands, hands into your head. That's going to help you keep a nice tall spine, really great posture. And time. Beautiful work. Release your arms, give everything a good shake. Grab 2 weights and we're going to come up into a standing position. First things first, we're going to use our weights as kickstands. So if you've got weights that have little sticky parts on the bottom or little butt ends, probably don't use those. They might not be great for your floor. But if you've got the flat end type, you're going to use your weights as kickstands. They're just going to be on the ground. We're going to be in a bent over position. Think about finding a nice long spine. And now we're going to just start to alternate leg lifts. You're going to lift as high as you can, keeping a nice tabletop position. So a nice flat back, a nice long neck gazes down between your weights. If your weights are no good for this position, you can always let your hands touch the floor. I just find the kickstand helps me because my arms are a little short. You're already halfway there. And time. Awesome job. Bend your knees a little bit, come up to a standing position. And we do not need our weights, so just leave them down on the ground or set them off to the side. We're going to get our heart rate up just a little bit. So we're going to start to tap the insides of the ankles. So you're just picking your leg up, externally rotating your knee and tapping to the inside. Start to find a little bit of a rhythm. Pick up the pace just a little bit once you feel like it's safe and comfortable to your knees and your hips. And then as you get this faster movement going on, just see if you can tune into your breath and notice, are you breathing in and out from your mouth? Can you start to breathe in and out through your nose? It's a little bit more challenging as the heart rate gets up, but super good for you. So see if you can try to find that breath coming in and out through your nostrils. We got 5 seconds left. And time. Nice job. Grab 2 weights, heavy if you can handle it, but it is going to be an overhead hold. So we're going to just hold those weights up and overhead and start to alternate our knee lifts. We got 1 minute on the clock. We're going to change arm position in about 20 seconds. So we're just going to pick those knees up. If that straight up and overhead hold is no good, just bring it out slightly so it feels like a good, comfortable position for your shoulders. All right, now from here, bend those elbows, bring the weight straight out from your shoulders. All right, last 10 seconds. Stack those weights right at your shoulders, but keep those knees lifting. Now we're gonna keep with that knee lift. So don't stop lifting those knees. We're gonna add a little clap. So you're gonna Tap under and tap under. If using the weights feels like it's too much, set the weights down. But if you can, pick up your knee and like you're clapping your weights under your thigh. So you have to hold your leg a little bit longer and get a little work in your arms as well. Nice, you guys. Awesome job. And if you opted to put the weights down, you're going to go just a little bit faster. You're going to get more reps in. Heart rate is going to come up a little bit more. 19 seconds left. You got this. And time. Awesome job. Stick with those weights, or if you set them down, pick them back up. Now we're going to find our way to the front end of the mat. Arms are going to reach up and overhead. Bend down, touch the ground. Step one foot back and then the other into a plank. Give a row to the other side. Walk your feet forward. Come up and overhead press. Down to the ground. Step one foot back and then the other. Find a plank. Row, step up, and overhead press. If that feels like it's a little too much for you this morning, start by leaving the weights off. See how it feels to find a plank, shoulder tap, step up, and reach. And if that's still too much, think about reaching up and overhead, come into a little squat, tap one foot back, and then the other, rise up and reach your arms up. So you pick the version that's going to work best for you this morning. When you're back in that plank position, keep a nice firmness in your center. Beautiful, you guys. Nice work. And time. Awesome job. Okay, switch to a lighter set of weights. If you've got them, we're going to work into the shoulders a little bit more. So we're going to find a nice wide stance. Step your feet out, come into a little sumo squat. We're going to stay nice and low here. Take your arms out nice and wide. One arm is going to reach across and then pull like you're pulling a bow and arrow, and then take it to the other side. So we want to keep that nice low position with our seat, a nice firmness in our center, and let most of the work come out of the arms and the shoulders. So not a lot of rotation in the ribs. As you pull that arm across, pull it straight across the chest and open out. Nice. Beautiful, Karen. Beautiful, Ting. Yes. Christine, nice work. Man, you guys are awesome. Nice, Helen. And don't lose that seat. So if you think your butt has started to lift up a little bit, sink just a little bit deeper. Work those legs as you recover here. You got 5 seconds left. You got this. And time. Woo, lift up, shake everything out. Grab your heavy weights again. All right, 30 seconds on one side, 30 seconds on the other. We're going to take it into a staggered stance. So right foot steps back a little bit into a deadlift. So we hinge from our waist, nice long spine. Use the back of your left leg to help lift you up. Think about thrusting your hips forward slightly as you hit that top position. So hinge, come up and squeeze. Nice. All right, switch feet. So right foot's gonna step down, left foot's gonna step back, and then right back to it. Hinge from your waist, come up and squeeze. Ten seconds left. And time, awesome job. Keep one weight and set the other one down. We're coming back to that sumo squat. So that nice wide position. And now we're gonna start a little bit of a figure eight pass. So you're gonna pass that weight under the thigh. Your whole torso is gonna move with you. Let it move like it naturally does. Keep that nice low position with the legs. Check your knees here. As you start to move, can you keep the muscles right on the inside of that knee? Can you keep those muscles engaged? So they're a little firm, but they're also slightly soft. So they move with you a little bit, but keep you protected. So they're not collapsing in. Already halfway there. Two seconds left. You got this. Woohoo! Come on up. Shake your legs out. Stick with that single weight. We're going to find a pretty narrow stance here. So think about bringing the big toes together. But if that starts to feel like it's not a good position for your knees or your hips or your ankles, you'll step to a wider configuration. But if you can, step them nice and close. Hold your weight sideways. We're going to reach it up and overhead. Sink into a little chair, twist to one side, reach up. Sink into a little chair, twist to the other side, and reach up. Once you've got the movement pattern down, you're going to see if you can start to pick up the pace. So you're going to sink and twist, and go just as fast as feels good to you. So your heart rate might still be up a little bit from those renegade rows or from those ankle taps. So if you feel like it needs to slow down a little bit, you're going to slow your movement down. But if you like getting your heart rate up, go just as fast as feels good. You've got 15 seconds left. And time, awesome job. Shake your legs out. Now we're gonna take it into some wood choppers. So think about holding your weight kind of like a baseball bat or like an axe. You're gonna take it up to a shoulder and swing it down. So we're gonna keep a nice wide stance and bend into the knee that you're chopping into. We're gonna stay on this right side or your left side, whichever side you're working, but stay on this side for the full minute. Let your torso move with you. Control your arms, but allow them to move freely like you would. So you're not gonna just let that weight swing around. It's a controlled motion, but there is a softness to it so that you can allow the moves to move, allow the arms to move freely. Nice, Ting, that looks great. Awesome, Liz. You guys, 12 seconds left. And time, beautiful. Shake out your legs, switch position. We got to take it to the other side. So that way it's going to come up and over the other shoulder and swing down bend into your standing leg. We got 1 minute on the clock. You're gonna work it at your pace, finding rotation in the torso, movement in the shoulder, and a little work in your leg that you're chopping down towards. Twenty seconds left. And time. Awesome, awesome work. All right, stick with that single weight. We're gonna pick up one leg. We're gonna start a bicep curl, flip the palm, press back. We're gonna challenge our balance, work through our center here. 30 seconds on the clock. So one leg up, bicep curl, flip the palm, push back, get a little work in the tricep and the shoulder. Bicep curl, flip, and push back. If your balance is off this morning, no big deal. Just set that toe down. Nice, and then switch sides. Set your foot down, switch your hands, bicep curl, flip the palm, and press back. And time. Awesome, awesome work. Grab your lightest set of weights or no weights for this one. That's going to be totally up to you, but light will be a little bit better, just kinder to the shoulders. So we're going to start to find a little bit of a crisscross with our arms. So think that nice bend in the elbows, like our I Dream of Jeannie arms. We're just going to start to pull them in and out. So the elbows are going to come to the shoulders, and then we're going to alternate which arm comes on top. Once you've got that down, you're going to add on. So you're going to butt kick as you open those elbows wide. We got 1 minute on the clock. You're going to go as fast or as slow as you like. Just driving that heel toward your butt, keeping that nice bend in your elbows. You got 23 seconds left. You got this. If the weights become too much, set them down. If you opted for no weights and now it doesn't feel like quite enough, pick your weights up for those last 10 seconds. Woo! Shake those arms out. Set your weights down. A little bit of a walking recovery. So facing forward, you're just going to start walking to the back end of your mat and then walk yourself forward. And then see if you can start to just keep your head lifted. Walk yourself to the back edge of your mat and then walk yourself forward. So all you have to do is pay attention to your proprioception. Where are you in your space? Without looking backwards, can you find the end of your mat? Nice, take one more forward and back. Awesome. Now at the back end of your mat, stay there, step your feet about hip width distance apart. Take a nice big breath, reach your arms up, bend your knees a lot, fold yourself down to the ground. Down on the ground, bend your knees even more, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll all the way up to standing, roll your shoulders down and back. One more like that. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, bend your knees a lot, fold yourself down. Bend your knees even more, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll all the way on up. Right hand touches your thigh, left hand reaches up alongside your ear. Take a little side bend. Lift up and switch to the other side. Left hand down, right hand reaches up. Take a little side bend. Nice, bring it all down. We're gonna bend the knees, walk your hands down to the ground. We're gonna walk into a little down dog position. So you're gonna walk your hands forward and then find yourself a nice little upside down V. Press into your arms, let your chest kind of sink towards your thighs. Take 3 nice big breaths here. Cool, now we're gonna soften our knees, walk your feet towards your hands. So now we're coming up further on our mat. Bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll all the way on up to standing. Take a couple of rolls of your shoulders, swing your arms in and out. You guys did amazing work today. Grab your Pilates ball if you're sticking around. And if you've got to get